Hello, my name is Jacob Harlow, and this is Grammar in the Digital Age, How AI is Reshaping the Modern English Language. The main goal of this is just exploring ChatGPT and how programs like it are affecting grammar in both how we learn it and how we correct ourselves. So some of our objectives here is to, like I said, understand what ChatGPT does and where they fall short. Um, You'll see in this presentation that there are many benefits to using something like ChatGPT, but at the same time, there are many drawbacks. And I think I can also give a good explanation of how this in the future will affect how we use grammar tools and how we learn grammar ourselves. So one of the more recent trends in AI is its use in language learning. We have seen an increase in, you'll see later, cases where people are learning English as a second language, using apps or such to use AI to learn English with their grammar. ChatGPT is not inherently one of the main ones, but a lot of these sources use ChatGPT as a source to get the user AI. This matters because even for many current English speakers, we're now using ChatGPT type products, like something like Quillbot, as something we can use to check ourselves. So one of the questions when addressing this is that what does ChatGPT actually do? Um, I think most of us know at this point what it actually does. It generates human like text, and for the case of grammar, it can detect errors in our grammar. One of the benefits you'll see later about ChatGPT is that it's very good at simulating real world language. Because a lot of the problems with some of the older sources before ChatGPT is that it would just kind of make it as proper as possible, as grammatically correct as possible, when in reality it's not how people speak. Some of the limitations about it though is naturally, depending on the context of how you use it, it can, you can give it not enough cannot give it enough context. When trying to correct yourself. So if it's like a conversation, maybe there's some kind of tone there that can be completely missed if using ChatGPT to actually correct it. And also it can make stylistic assumptions going into that same kind of thing. So one study was a Korean study that I looked at, and it was just how AI can be used for correcting grammar skills. This one in particular was a Korean study. So as you see here, some of the benefits is that it was immediate, because one of the benefits about using ChatGPT in particular is that it is very fast. There's no real wait. Depending on how you treat the AI, because it can be tailored person to person, it is very much I've used it myself a little bit just to test this. It gives very good feedback, and it's just very personalized to what you need to learn. One of the drawbacks, especially something less so if you're on the actual website for ChatGPT, but something that uses some sort of AI like Quillbot, like I mentioned before, those kind of apps just kind of give the corrections, but don't really give any explanation of what you did wrong, how you can correct this in the future, stuff like that, which then may hinder actually learning grammar instead of just seeing how it can be corrected just by itself. A second study here was, I believe it was a Taiwanese study, I could be wrong, but this is for EFL learners. One of the same kind of positives, just natural responses. It feels to an extent like you're talking to a person, and in terms of flexibility, it is very the same kind of thing as before. It's very much tailored to the person. One of the problems, especially with people in college, people younger, myself included to some extent, is that there's some over-reliance in terms of correcting the grammar, just in terms of it's not effective to do this rather than just really learn what you did wrong. And this and with ChatGPT becoming such a easy to access source, it's very easy to make it'll make it a habitual problem to just constantly use it instead of just actually learning how to do it yourself. So I know I'm saying some negatives, but here's some positives about where ChatGPT excels. It is very good at spotting punctuation, spelling errors, just like the very basic mistakes. Um, Same kind of thing, fixing run-on sentences or fragments, and just kind of clarity. Just if something sounds off, since it's kind of human tailored, it's very easy to just because it takes feedback from other people. It's very easy to get that real human-like tone and quality. And it also can detect that kind of awkward phasing that comes with that. But there are, on the other side of the coin, some problems. Um, it can incorrectly change valid structures, like if something's correct, but the AI thinks it could sound better, it fixes that, which can, change how you sound yourself. It can fail to understand advanced grammar context. Like I said before, it can just kind of ties on the same kind of point. Just if something is already correct, but it thinks it could be more correct, quote unquote, then it'll try to fix that. And with English itself being such kind of like a flexible language, it can kind of give inaccurate explanations of some things. We'll see something like that in a second. And on top of that, kind of oversimplifies rules, just makes them. It's all ties together. It's the same kind of. It makes English seem much more simple than it is. So here I found a quote from Catcher in the Rye, and I just simply copy this quote, pasted it into ChatGPT, and it was just like, improve this grammatically. That's all I said to it. As you can see here, it really just makes it takes some of the tone out, like here where it says he told us to think of Jesus as our buddy and all, and it says and then it changed it to he said to think of Jesus like a buddy. That doesn't change. It's not incorrect. But the thing about it is, one of the problems I have with this is that it takes some of the character, because this also ties into the fact that there was no context here. Because Catcher in the Rye is a first-person novel. So it takes place from like a specific person, and that person has their own characteristics. This just makes it plain, just like if anyone was saying it, this is how they would say it. So yeah, here's some more pros and cons from that. It does have, because the thing about that quote was that it just showed that sentence as said by that one character. And the pro of that, if for like general writing, one of the pros for that is that it would make it sound better. Like if you were writing something else to say or something like that. I'm sorry. And for more of that, it's just, yeah. And here are my sources, and thank you.